when you finally go live.
Is it normal now? My phone's like 9.
HFFL! Here we go. Week 11. Week 11. It's getting that, and down the stretch they come. We're going around the final turn here. A lot of things crystallizing from the Matthews' organization. Joining us,
welcome,
Walace, the man they call Walace, Nathan Matthews, the guy that doesn't know when the trade deadline is.
All right, easy.
The guy that said, I want to make a simple trade.
Right.
2 days after the trade deadline. Where are you?
Where are you?
Where?
I think I announced it 100 times when the trade deadline.
Where are you? So there's hope for all the passive partners out there, i.e. Murray. You could be on the show. You could be on the show. Anybody could be on the show.
We're open to.
Welcome, Nathan. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. I really I don't know. I'm almost choked up to be on the show. I just want to say, like, is it just me, or I feel like just yesterday was July 4th, you know, and now all of a sudden we're about halfway through the NFL season. You know, we're ready to rock and roll to see who's going to go to the playoffs, you know, and I don't know. I don't know what to say.
It just happens in a blink, man. It happens in a blink. I think that's a great, great little point. You're going to blink again, and we're going to be crowning an HFFL 2018 champion.
Dano.
You have the crown already.
J-Dog. That's a Commish crown.
How you doing? How you doing?
How we doing, boys?
We're doing good. We're doing good. J-Dog, what position should we call you? You know, like where's your quarters? Like we're here at the lair. We know where Matthews is. I don't know. He's in his den. Where are you? In a study of some sort?
I'm trying to do a little Adam Schefter. I put Karen's bookshelf behind me, you know, make believe that I'm doing something with that, but it's really chicka chicka boom boom and things like that. But that's where I am. And are we ready for takeaways then?
Takeaway time, baby. But before takeaway time, newness. We're congratulating a new weekly points leader. Week 10. Finally done, over, through. Get the fucking gas out of here. Put the crown on DTS. Unbelievable moves he made this week. Just wheeling, dealing. We'll get into that later on in the show. My takeaway from the end of week 10 here is missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. The 4 through 7 right now, Liberal, Ogres, Matthews, and Teslas, all of them stock down. All of them right now. And you had an opportunity here to really solidify the playoff situation, and now you're going to see topsy-turvy motherfuckers left and right. I guarantee 2 of 3 from Liberals, Ogres, and Matthews's don't make the playoffs.
Dan, never underestimate the power of the tie. It is going to break or make my team making the playoffs. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, clear you've never watched the show. Clear. We've been talking tie is a win, tie is a win, tie is a win, tie is a win. How much can we preach it? It's every takeaway.
What about the fact that Matthews just said never underestimate the power of the tie? It's going to make or break his season, guaranteed. How could he lose? This guy, wow, good one there, Nathan. Good one. You're either gonna make it or break it. I like it.
Nathan, before we get into your takeaway, rapid fire. Sitting in the 6 hole right now, which is what makes you so exciting to have on the show. You make the playoffs, yay or nay? Go.
You know, I'm sure you're not expecting me to say I'm not gonna make the playoffs, but you know, I feel like I'm definitely gonna make the playoffs. You know. We have stockpiled talent. You know, we have 2 great quarterbacks. We have, Beckham.
OBJ, you're loving OBJ? Sure.
You know, of course, he's always going to give you production. Our running backs are good. The biggest problem I have right now is who to start, whether it's Tariq or Coleman on a weekly basis. It's a minor issue, but
that's an issue. RB2, that's an issue.
I can never make the goddamn right decision. That's the problem.
The biggest challenge you have right now is stabilizing that phone. Let's get stabilized here. We're swimming.
Matthews, this is not good for the show, Matthews.
You got to lean in on a book. This is almost as bad as when Isaac tried to do this over the T-Mobile airwaves.
No, it's Dan.
You see your hands, you're moving it. Come on, man.
It's Dan's fault. He makes me animated. The phone starts flying, and But the bottom line is, I don't really, it's very hard to determine who to start. Is it Cohen? Is it Coleman? They sound the same. Me and my brother could make a mistake based on voice.
We're gonna get back into that a little later about you and your brother. Enough about T. Matthews right now. We're gonna move on.
But that's my takeaway: missed opportunities, and that's why we are in this predicament where I think 2 of the 3, obviously, Teslas R Us, DTS, Lil Connors, they get in.
Yeah.
They get in. Yeah. And I think the 2 are Teslas R Us and DTS, but we'll get to that. But those are my takeaways. J-Dog, takeaway, honey.
So I have a fun little takeaway. It's more gimmicky than anything. But if you want to have a problem, if you want to lose a player in this league on your team, just name your team after him. Take a look. Fuller wets the bed. Guy's hurt out for the season. Little Lindsey's traded. Saquon these nuts traded. Nate Peterman not even in the NFL. Then Daniel goes to Teeny Thompson's. This guy's hurt too. He's not playing this week probably. And DK, Little Connors, he had a concussion last week. The only reason why he may play is because Dave spelled his name completely wrong. Connor has an E, not an O. Because of his stupidity, he saved himself a player. And it's just a very interesting guess that I noticed. I'm never doing this again. I'm going to be the Ogres. I'm going to be the Aloes. I'm going to be the Dwecks. The Dweck Beteshes. And I'm going to be safe. That's my takeaway for the week.
Unbelievable. On fire.
Trader Irv.
Ogre.
Traded Jakey Betesh. I don't know what you want to call it.
Ogre takeaway?
You got to be a good manager. This is a time where you got to hone down on your managerial skills. We all have our Saquons, we all have our Gurleys, we all have our Camaras. It's the extra spots that you really got to get production out of.
Crazy. That's so deep.
It's really those. You got to be a good manager and figure it out. And then you move on. You make the right decisions there, and then you move on. That's just how you get to second place. I'll just tell you from now.
The roadmap to second.
You said something, Jay?
I said we do not all have our girlies, but okay, that's besides the point.
Yeah,
guys projected 30 this week. 30.
Oh, more, 30.
30.
Wow.
Nathan, takeaway? You have a takeaway for us?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I don't know if anyone's been watching the Rams, but their defense has been absolutely abysmal over the last 3, maybe 4 weeks. I think it's been at least 3. And
I think at least 3. I think 3.
Yeah, it's been at least 3, and that's gonna give Gurley a chance, because they're still scoring. They're winning, so that's gonna give Gurley always a chance to put up the numbers, and he has been doing it. So there's no reason to think that it's not gonna happen.
Okay,
I'm gonna agree.
Thank you for that takeaway, Matthews. As we get tucked in, lulled to sleep, I want to just expand. We want to take the opportunity to expand on the Pretenders Contenders segment. Jay, do you want to do that, or you have some gears to share with Matthews?
No. So I think we should expand on it. I don't really care about the Pretenders anymore. But I want to throw this one out for you, Dan. So it's a segment you're not gonna like. I know you don't love this because you do have a target on your back. I know you're gonna tell me I'm in first. Nobody's gunning for me. I promise you that. Who are your biggest threats to the title, Dan? Who would you say after last week when a lot of these so-called contenders fell out, sort of like DK and some other guys that fell out from the top? Sorry, Dave, I don't mean to shit on you. I know you get a little sensitive, so I apologize for that. But the guys that lost, so who do you see now as your prime 2 to 3 contenders?
I definitely think Yeah. I think first of all, I think you got to change your whole tune on Fuller Wets the Bed. Second in the league in scoring. A public apology's got to go out. It was probably too tempting, to call them a pretender, but clearly a contender. So, and I definitely look at the lineup. That running back core, I was looking at it today. You have Melvin and who else? I'm sorry?
Fournette.
And Fournette now. Like Fournette's playing now.
Workhorse.
It really did go a long way for him.
Yep.
So I've definitely, and I think your balance in your team is great. Deshaun is huge, and
Cooks is really great.
And Cooks is money. So but that's one. Number one, if I'm ringing, is Nate Peterman for sure. For sure.
Oh, wow. Sound like my princessa, Dan. Number one.
Number one, number one fear for me. 1-6. The guy won 6 in a row. Yeah. The guy's crazy. Yeah. Then Fuller Wets the Bed, and then I think DTS.
Really?
I think DTS is just.
Thomas?
Dude, Michael Thomas, Mitchell Trubisky. He has Joe Mixon. He has who's his other receiver? Michael Thomas, and he has another fucking crazy receiver. Yeah. I don't know, whatever. But it's just those three guys. I fear. Those three guys I fear. I'll tell you who I don't fear. Matthews is and liberal. I'll tell you who I don't fear. Those guys.
Listen, I love the best position to be in is not to be feared. I love to go in when people don't want to beat me because then I'm gonna win.
I hear that.
Okay.
I hear that.
Hey, listen, if you don't fear Kareem Hunt, if you don't fear Odell Beckham, if you don't fear Cam Newton, if you don't fear Matt Ryan, if you don't fear Tevin Cole,
do you have to read your team right now? Are you reading your team off the paper?
No.
I fear 2 of your players, not 4. I don't fear Cam and I don't fear Matt. I don't fear those guys.
But it's not even about those guys. It's the managerial. It's the skills. You don't have them.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's Nathan Matthews, Walace.
Yes.
We've spent a lot of time dissecting your roster.
I know. I'm sorry.
Let's move on. We have an interview segment with you. I'm gonna Hannah storm you a little here. We have an interview segment with you. Try and keep the answers limited because there's a few questions that we have, and I want to hear your thoughts. The first one is going back to last week. I know I rattled off a lot of stats about Team Matthews over the past few 5-6 years and how good you've been with you at the helm. Actually, as surprisingly enough, as the lead GM. And who drafted the team?
I don't know why.
Let me finish the question.
The cheap shot is not necessary. You could have just let that roll.
Don't do interruptions here.
You don't watch the show then. All I do is cheap shots. But anyway, so this year you didn't make it. This year you didn't make it to the draft. You probably just didn't, schedule conflict or something. Your sister got married. You didn't know what happened. You didn't make it to the draft. And Zeke, had his draft and. He started off pretty hot, and I couldn't help but notice the arrogance that was exuding from him. And he was shitting all over you as if to say, I finally got the reins, and look what's happening. Well, how did you feel when this was all going on?
To be honest with you, it didn't affect me at all. As you said, we had, a lot of, not so much success, because we only had 1 ring, but, we're always competitive and, I just take it as it comes. I don't really let those comments affect me.
Very, 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 very good answer. I'm very impressed.
I really love it. Nay, just to interject one thing. Is it a real beef that me and you have, or no? Like me, you, and Zeke have? Well, I feel like we really love each other deep down. No?
Dan, when you hung that Rangers sign outside your window when I lived at 1930 77th Street, I knew at that point that I would never in my life have a beef with you. You have nothing to worry. I didn't even know it was you that I was trading with.
Okay.
That's the best answer of the day.
I love you.
I love you.
You know that. You know I love you.
Yeah.
I love Jakey. Ogre is a different story, but
moving on. So, we do a shame segment a lot, and the shame segment has to do with, really poor starts. You mentioned all your studs that you had, but I can't help but notice you guys probably lead the league in really the shame segment. You started Kelvin Benjamin for a lot of weeks. You moved on to Nick O'Leary a real zero. And then somehow you stuck with Taylor Gabriel for a long time, even when he wasn't producing, and put up another zero last week. Probably cost you.
Correct.
What's going
No,
on? What's
actually,
going on with that zero slot?
That one actually didn't cost me the week. I'll tell you, what it was it was our. See, we were offered a bunch of trades, but we didn't want to trade a stud for a. You know what? I shouldn't even. Why am I making excuses? We did a horrible job of picking up a third wide receiver. How's that?
That's a great answer.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, I'll let that go.
Horrible. I mean, we were offered trades that would have given us a better third wide receiver, but we never actually made the trade. Not to say that the trade would have been better, but we did not do a good job as a pickup.
I like that you just dropped him though. That you didn't even pick anyone up. You just dropped him.
Nice. Well, let's be honest. I mean, he after a zero. I mean,
my last question for you is, what do you plan to do with all this Fab money that you have?
Every year.
Yeah.
That could be why. That could be why you don't have a good third wide receiver, because you have $164 saved away.
Well, listen, if Calvin Johnson shows up on the wire, I'm there. But I didn't see him. I didn't see a good like wide receiver that.
How about the other Calvin? How about Ridley? I mean, Calvin Ridley was available.
I'm not.
Lockett was available.
Power to the guy who picked him up. He's better than me, But
That's gonna be the difference.
That's a bad job by me and us. Actually, I should say. And what can I say? We're 5-4-1. We're as usual in the grind, and we'll be there at the end. We'll be there.
Very, very impressed by your professionalism here in this interview and in your responses. I'm not gonna lie. I'll tip my hat. Good answers all around. And we're gonna end the segment because I didn't get what I really wanted out of you. So
what do you want? What do you want? You want me to tell you what? All right, hold on. Wait. Don't end it yet. Don't end it. Are we ready?
We're ready.
My brother sucks. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Oh!
All right, there you go.
All right,
wow.
Okay.
With that, we're gonna let you go now, Matthews. We love you.
Nah, come on, don't let me go. I want to.
We're done. We gotta do winners and losers of the trade deadline. That's it, man.
That's it.
We love you.
Your phone is out of
We
control.
love you. We get it. You're 5-4. You're doing the grind. 5-4-1. Ties are important.
Ties are important. We got it.
And let's wrap it up. Now we gotta get back to the commissioner wrap-up show. I love you.
All right, let's take it.
Yeah, easy day.
But with that, we're going to winners and losers. Are you a winner or are you a loser? Winners and losers, but not of free agency. I want to do winners and losers from the trade deadline. There was a lot of action.
Really?
We didn't break it down. Hearts palpitating. Start off with this guy, DTS. And it's only going to get worse for me with this trade. When we were just having our chill sesh, Lindsey. How do you just give Philip Lindsay for
nothing.
A Chris Thompson that has a torn ACL?
Yeah.
You're crazy. Has 17 broken ribs. Never gonna play. And you see Tom Brady, the guy's 90 years old. So completely fleeced me. Winner, chicken dinner, DTS. And then turns it around and does what he does to Fullawets the bed, which I'll let Jakey go off on.
The schedule is ridiculous.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to be as upset as you. I think Allen Robinson had his week that I don't think that's coming again. I could be very wrong, but he got me good. He hit me up with I'm just looking for a connection nonsense. To be honest, I was very nervous about Fournette. I still am about his health, and I needed a backup running back. But I traded a starter out. I figured Blockett would be good. He put up a 15, but it's not a 31. He literally killed me and you. He took $300 out of that pocket. And I'm talking about Sammy Chira, obviously, who orchestrated these trades. And he literally took $300 out of our pockets. If you don't make the trade, you're points leader. I don't make the trade, I'm points leader. But long term, I'm not as concerned as you. I don't love giving away Allen Robinson. I think he's very talented. I liked him. I held on to him for 9 weeks, but I'm not as concerned.
Yeah, but he was also, but it's like Allen Robinson, you're thinking he's going to fall off, and he's just continuing to do what he's done. And so is Trubisky. So
I don't know
we're
what you
thinking we
think he's
sold
done.
high, but maybe we didn't. What?
What has Allen Robinson done? He broke 10 twice the whole year.
Right. I guess it just feels like he's done stuff.
The week I played you, he had 14 targets. He hasn't broken 7 since then. So
no, I hear you
on that.
Yeah, I hear you more than me. Another clear winner, I think, in this trade. You could say it's not noteworthy or not, but I think both winners. But in the long run, I think Allo really wins a lot, getting Andrew Luck and Robert Woods for the Osweiler Julio Jones. Needed a lot of value to get out of the cellar,
Exactly.
and I think he's trying to do what he has to do. But Mike C right now. These guys, 11 and 12, it's becoming a nice little matchup here. 11 and 12. Who's going to pay the 250? They're bringing good weeks to the table. Proud of those guys. EKT doesn't mean anything, not condescendingly proud of you, but I'm saying great job. Great job. Great job. You made that. That was a great trade. And the Cousins to you, I think Mike C won on that also.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mike C wins there. Allo wins here. I don't know, wins. People improves because I think Julio's the best guy in that trade. But I think winners and losers there, I have Allo and Mike C being a winner.
This is what really makes the HFFL great, and why we're making it great again. Us 3 as commissioners, 11th place and 12th place are in it. They're in the thick of things.
Yeah.
Not in the thick of things. They're in a race.
They're in a race. And you're saying it's a testament to the triumvirate.
No other league has 11th and 12th place this active.
Right.
Great. It's really, really awesome.
Right. Jay, what do you think about the Julio Jones Osweiler for Andrew Luck, Robert Woods? That happened live on last week's show.
Right. So initial reaction was I didn't love Nate giving up Luck. I still don't love Nate giving up Luck. Woods, I think now it looks a little better for Allo than it did before. But I'm playing Nate this week, and I'm looking at his team, and I am seeing Julio and Nook, and I'm petrified. So I don't know. It gave Nate such a boom potential. I think it was great for Allo. He needed a quarterback. Tremendous for Allo. That's without a doubt. But I think it was also a win for Nate. I think he had too many quarterbacks, and he wasn't going to get much for Fitz. I think it was a good trade by Nate too. So I think those were one of the rare both guys won on that one.
I agree. I agree.
Isaac, I think, really got the number one fleece job even over you.
See ya.
Isaac, I don't know what he was thinking at the time. I said that at the time. I still don't know what he's thinking. And Tyreek Hill showed him, what are you thinking? I think Isaac was in panic mode. He lost a lot of games by 1 point. Hill had a couple weeks of like 8.5, 9, and he got nervous. That's the guy's floor. That's his floor. He's puts up 40s and 38s and 31s consistently. I don't know what he was thinking. So I think that was the toughest trade so far.
Okay. Going into this week, a lot on the line. We should go into the matchups, really talk it up a bit. We have an amazing game of the week ahead. I tell you, the 1 versus the 3 should be fucking epic. But I want to start off. Let's start off Allo and Ogre. Ogre desperate for a win, needs a win. Allo playing spoiler, trying to get out of the cellar. Who do you like and why, Jakey?
Okay, so I didn't really dig into this matchup yet, but I'll give you just a quick one, I guess. I like Allo here. I think David Johnson's getting going. He's playing Oakland, and I think Allo's quarterbacks now are solidified. They're playing each other, which is always fun. I like Allo to beat Ogre here, and I don't like Thursday night quarterbacks, so I like Allo.
I do also. 1 to 2 to 3 trades too many from Ogre. One of the big losers from the trade deadline, if you ask me.
I don't think so.
If you ask me.
I think Allo's going to win if that means anything either. So.
I think Allo has this. I see your receiving core, and I'm like Calvin Ridley and Cameron Sutton. No good. Well, yeah, whatever you want.
You got Ogre. You got a little too excited about the rookies from last year, and you tried to do it again this year. Lightning only strikes once, man.
I think Aloe takes it, and Ogre moves. It's a devastating loss.
It is.
6-5, losing to Aloe. This is going to be a very tough swing for you. But like I said, from takeaway time, it's going to be topsy-turvy here. 2 of 3 out, 2 of 3 in.
Just a quick note. I think I picked Aloe about 5 or 6 times this year, and he's 1-9. So clearly, I don't have a good pulse on Al's team.
That's such a fun fact. I wish we had records.
Yeah,
you know.
We can go back to the videotape one day. We'll go to the archives and see. I'm terrible at this. I notice. I'm horrible at this.
Tesla's are us, and Matthews is. Ogre, why don't you take this one away?
I like Matthews's, unfortunately. Yeah, I think his quarterbacks will be great, and his Hunt and Beckham will really take him far. Tate, I think, is bad. Diggs injured is bad. Jordan Howard's gonna have a tough time against Minnesota. Patrick Mahomes is playing a tough defense, but Monday night is always fun. And a Thursday night quarterback, so I take Matthews's to take this.
I actually agree, and I take Matthews's also. You know.
Yeah.
But very, very competitive game. Very good. I think OBJ has a day in Tampa. I think Cam has a day in Detroit. Karimi, high octane, and then also on his side, I just don't fear the receiving core that much. You know, I think.
Up.
Yeah, but you have Juju and Diggsy, but Golden to Tutors wasn't even in the game. He wasn't in the game on Sunday night, so. I think Matthews wins that. J-Dog?
20 minutes to feed him opens.
Yeah, I agree with Matthews too. I mean, Mahomes I think is going to have a day because he just always has a day, and the Rams defense has been getting carved up like we said. But other than that, I think Zeke is also. I think he's got 2 guys that are going to have a big day, but I think Matthews is going to beat him.
Okay, unanimous panel decision here for Matthews. It's crazy. Moving to Salty X Commish Teeny Thompson's. Jakey.
I've always picked Dan. He always comes through. I'm going to continue to pick Dan.
Wow.
I would love nothing more than for Mike to beat you. I think Galladay is going to get a lot of targets. I think he's got a couple of decent matchups in here. But overall, I don't know. I think that his quarterbacks are just atrocious. And I think that yours are, even without only having one, I think your one quarterback outscores his 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Dan takes this. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Wow.
But C-Mac will have a nice day, but that'll be the only thing. As usual.
Very high-octane matchup. DTS, Lil Connors. I think this one's going to be a doozy. Even though we don't know who Lil Connors is starting at tight end, I think Lil Connors loses a tough one to DTS. I think they continue in their losing ways. I think DTS is going to be a bust with no breaks here and lose that. Demarius, money. A-Rob with his new role. A-Rob, money. Michael Thomas, money. I love his receivers, and I just think Lindsey has a day. Lindsey and Trubisky those are my guys, man. Those are my guys. How the fuck did I do what I did? I think Brady. Yeah, Brady. I got a 90-year-old on needs fucking health care or some shit like that. But I like DTS. J-Dog.
I like DK this week. I don't know. I feel like he just has better matchups. We're not seeing the tight end. I know Flacco is probably going to not be playing there, so it's probably going to end up being Carr, which could be a problem. I'm not sure. It could be better. I have no idea. But I just like the Mike Evans, Devontae Adams this week. I like Evans against the Giants. So, and Connor, I think will keep doing his Connor thing. I don't know. I think he's got more explosiveness. So I like DK's team. But again, I think I pick DK's team all the time too. I think I just like that. I don't know. Not bad. His team's good. I don't know. I like DK.
Love it. Did we do you here?
No. I think Michael Thompson's going to have a feast at home, and it's going to be really 40, 50 points.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a difference maker.
Yeah, it's going to be
So I think DTS takes it just because of that.
Wow. Liberal, the stock down, plummeting 4 straight. Oof. But must be mentioned, 2 of them Heartbreak Hotel. 2 of them HBH. He could have beat 10 teams 2 weeks ago. He could have beat 8 teams this past week. So he's having a rough go at it from that standpoint. I think he definitely bounces back and gets a much needed win this week. So I have Liberal and Matthews is both winning, I think, and then I have you losing And then next week we'll see what these two guys could do, Liberal and Matthews. But I think you're gonna take a tough loss. Tough loss.
I know.
So I got Liberal. I got Liberal in this one for all the reasons in the world. J-Dog?
Wallace is calling me mid-show. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he called me before also.
Trying to get back on. He thought he got disconnected. I don't know what happened, but so I think as much as we were excited about what Irv did last week, I think this is a Pucat matchup first of all. And as much as Irv, we were excited about how he was able to put together a nice roster last week. I don't know. I feel like I see the opposite this week. Just tough going all around. I think Isaac at receiver. I don't know what I'm looking at here. But I still think Isaac's going to take it when you just look at his overall. Brees and Kamara, I think, will just lead him to the victory.
Yeah, and a feastable matchup, Yeah. Feastable.
But, I mean, take a look at these receivers. I mean, I think Boyd's going to get a lot of looks and stuff, but wow, okay.
I still think he's going to take a look.
But MVS is awesome, no?
Yeah,
MVS is awesome.
It's a great Roto World receiving core right here. Is like all these guys are high upside, IWR 3-2, but not everyone's gonna hit.
Right. It's a good DFS lineup. Okay. He has good DFS. But without further ado, this game of the week, I can't even stand this game of the week, dude. 1-3.
Before we get into this, by the way, because I know I'm not going to be able to break anything down here, but my next 2 weeks are Matthews and Dano. So
wow,
it's a very interesting what's going on here. So it's going to be a lot of playoff teams playing each other, I think. So just FYI.
That's a nice little fun fact. And that's kind of crazy. You got a tough schedule, tough go of it, but I think you're one of the premier teams. So. I think it's just what has to happen.
Such a beautiful matchup.
Yeah, why don't you take this away? You're just seeing amazing numbers across the board.
Every single player is just so beautiful. Between the quarterbacks and like Eli Manning against Tampa Bay is going to have a good one. Sean Watson off the bye is against the decent defense going to be great. Carson Wentz against the Saints is going to tear up. That's just going to be a shootout. Ryan Fitzpatrick
at the Giants going to tear him up too, carve him up. Aaron Jones at Seattle, he could run all over Seattle. I really think Nate Peterman takes this game. I think he takes this game. I think weapons all over the board, or it's going to be a slugfest. I think I probably haven't picked full of what's the bet ever, and they're 7-2. So that shows you what my word means. Nothing. But I think Nay's just too much here. Nook, Julio, very feared team. Nook, Julio, Wentz, crazy. It's magic. It's crazy. I think he wins this one. Very, very tight. It comes down to the Wentz performance at 425 for Nate Peterman. That's really what it's about. That's where he really has to lay the dagger, because you have Cooks Monday night and you have Kelsey Monday night.
Right.
What do I need to be down going into Monday night to have a chance?
I think 40.
40.
And maybe even more. When you think about it, you have two of your key guys, Cooks and Kelsey. Like, there's nothing more guaranteed than Kelsey. No, is that true?
Yeah, I thought that until he's 7 last week in a big spot. So
right,
7. It's great for him.
Right. And Chris, I think they both get
my WR1.
Yeah, I think even if you're down 52, you still have hope. Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think? What do you think there?
Monday night? Yeah, I'm guessing around 50.
50.
Around 50.
50.
And then you'll have a chance to tie.
What do you think?
25.
Wow.
I actually like Fuller What's the Bid. I think all the wide receivers are great. I think the tight ends are great. I think the Achilles heel for Nate Peterman is going to be Marlon Mack. If he's healthy, if he's
I mean, do we trust the whole entire? Do we trust the entire backfield? Is my question. Even Jay, you got to weigh in on this for me. Aaron Jones, Marlon Mack. You like those two?
Yeah, I love Aaron Jones this week.
Yeah, that's a monster.
Yeah. I mean, this week, yeah, but I'm saying he's not going to have any duds. Like you could trust him. You could trust Aaron Jones.
I don't think he's a 32.5 again. I think he's, but I shouldn't have said that. But I think he's a 25.
Right. Okay. Okay.
He got 15 carries only last week, and all Rodgers is talking about is how they have to give him the ball more. What am I talking about? This guy should be even better.
But I tell you, as we go through the games, I think they all have potential to be games of the week, aside from that two-cat matchup. But I think this one, get your popcorn ready throughout the day. Going to be hell of a week. You're going to get daggers. You're going to have people higher hopes than ever. Things are going to shuffle.
The Monday night matchup's going to be really great, also.
There's the whole KC Rams thing, so high octane, so much gas. Look out for Reynolds. I think that's a great pickup. Have a great time here in Week 11, and I'll take it away. HFFL!
The best.
Zion again.